The movie begins with an ominous narration, setting the tone for the documentary we are about to witness. Masafumi Kobayashi, a respected paranormal researcher, has dedicated his life to uncovering the truth about supernatural phenomena across Japan. His work has brought him accolades but also exposed him to danger. Kobayashi's latest project, a documentary titled The Curse, was supposed to be another exploration of the paranormal, but it would soon become his most infamous and tragic case. The film we are about to see contains his final recordings before his unexplained disappearance. His house was burned to the ground, and his wife, Keiko, was found dead in the ruins. The circumstances surrounding these events remain shrouded in mystery. What you are about to see is not just a documentary, it is a puzzle, a warning, and perhaps even a curse. Consider this: every question leads to another mystery, every answer unveils a deeper horror. Brace yourself, for the journey ahead is not for the faint of heart. What lies within may stay with you long after the screen fades to black. The story begins a year and a half before Masafumi Kobayashi's mysterious disappearance, with what seemed like a routine investigation, until it wasn't. A quiet suburban neighborhood becomes the stage for unsettling events when a distressed woman contacts Kobayashi. She speaks of her neighbor, a woman named Junko Ishii, and the haunting sounds that emanate from her home. These are not the cries of ordinary babies, she insists. They are sharp, unnatural, agonizing sounds that twist the stomach and linger in the mind as if something unspeakable is happening behind closed doors. Intrigued and uneasy, Kobayashi, accompanied by his loyal cameraman Miyajima, visits Ishii's home to investigate. What greets them is a scene that feels wrong even before the first words are exchanged. The house is in disrepair, the yard strewn with debris and the lifeless bodies of pigeons, their presence unnervingly out of place. The air feels heavy, as though tainted by something unseen when Junko Ishii answers the door. Her appearance matches the foreboding atmosphere. Her gaunt face and hollow eyes speak of a life weighed down by burdens she refuses to share. She is unwelcoming. Her words clipped, her demeanor cold. Kobayashi tries to draw her out, asking about the cries about her home, but she offers nothing but silence and evasion. In the shadows of the home, a child briefly appears. Her young son. He is an ordinary boy at first glance, but something about him feels off. His wide, unblinking eyes seem too knowing, too deliberate, as if he's watching not just Kobayashi but something beyond him. The boy's eerie silence and intense stare linger with Kobayashi long after they leave. Then, without warning, Ishii vanishes. She moves away abruptly, leaving no forwarding address, no trace of where she might have gone. The house is abandoned, left to decay like the unanswered questions surrounding her. Kobayashi is unsettled, but the story takes a darker turn when tragedy strikes the neighborhood just days after Ishii's departure. Her neighbor, the same woman who had reported the disturbing cries, dies in a horrific car crash alongside her young daughter. The crash is ruled an accident, but the timing is too chilling to ignore. Kobayashi is left grappling with a sense of foreboding, the feeling that these events are not random but part of a larger sinister pattern. What started as an inquiry into strange noises has now taken a turn towards something darker and more menacing. Little does Kobayashi know, this is only the beginning. The threads he pulls will unravel a tapestry of horror far beyond his understanding, a tapestry woven with curses, rituals, and the unrelenting presence of malevolent forces. As part of his investigation into psychic phenomena, Kana's psychic ability on TV show. Kana Yano, a young girl with psychic abilities, appears on a TV show showcasing her powers. During the program, Kana becomes unnerved when she senses something beyond her control. Her abilities are undeniable, but her fear grows when she suddenly begins whispering about the darkness that is following her. The producers dismiss her fears, but it is clear that her connection to the supernatural is deepening. Shortly after her TV appearance, Kana mysteriously disappears, leaving a sense of dread behind. Kana before her disappearance. As Kana becomes more unstable, her mother provides a chilling interview. She recalls strange dreams, feelings of dread, and moments where Kana seemed possessed by an unknown force. Her mother shares that Kana spoke of shadows, whispers, and an entity that followed her. The haunting interview offers a glimpse into Kana's escalating descent into the supernatural. Untelecast TV footage from Marika Matsumoto, an actress, becomes a central figure as Kobayashi examines her troubling TV footage. In the unaired footage, Marika falls into a trance-like state, murmuring unsettling phrases and displaying bizarre. Before Kana disappearing, Kobayashi is invited to Kana's house for dinner by her parents. However, the visit takes an unsettling turn as strange events begin to unfold. fearful reactions her experiences on set mirror Kana's. Objects move on their own. Strange sounds fill the room and her emotional state deteriorates with every scene. Kobayashi is particularly disturbed by her ability to sense malevolent forces that appear to be manipulating her. Marika's mysterious behavior. Marika's behavior becomes increasingly unstable as she withdraws from her life and friends. She begins hearing whispers and experiencing visions of shadowy figures. The footage and her interviews reveal her emotional and mental breakdown as she becomes paranoid about an unseen entity that seems to control her actions. Kobayashi's interactions with her provide a deep insight into how the curse has begun to consume her entirely. Marika, Kobayashi, and Hori. To understand more about the supernatural forces at play, Kobayashi enlists the help of Hori, a psychic who has his own deep involvement with the curse. Hori warns Marika and Kobayashi that something far more powerful than they can comprehend is controlling the events. His erratic behavior, violent outbursts, cryptic drawings, and fear reflects the terror he feels when confronting these forces. His symbolic warnings reinforce the growing sense of hopelessness in their investigation. Director and Kobayashi analyze Marika's footage. The director and Kobayashi carefully analyze Marika's troubling footage, attempting to understand the inexplicable phenomena captured during this process. The footage reveals objects shifting, eerie whispers, and moments where Marika appears to be communicating with entities unseen to the camera. The director, despite his skepticism, Hori's house TV interview. In a chilling TV interview, Hori's erratic behavior is displayed in full view. His drawings and symbolic language are unsettling, and he mentions Kagutaba, repeatedly referring to it as a demon that will consume them all. His chaotic ramblings and the symbols he produces suggest that the curse is personal for him, one he cannot escape from. His mental instability worsens, raising concerns about his safety and the safety of those around him. Kana's disappearance. After multiple failed attempts to locate Kana, her disappearance drives Kobayashi to interview her parents. They share harrowing accounts of seeing shadowy figures around their home, and they suspect Hori's influence in some way. Despite their pleas for help, they are unable to prevent her fate. The investigation turns more personal for Kobayashi as the supernatural forces become less abstract and more deeply rooted in the lives of those connected to him. Hori's drawings and behavior. In one of the most disturbing sequences, Hori presents Kobayashi with a series of disturbing drawings depicting demonic symbols and gruesome images. One symbol in particular, an incomplete knot, resembles the same mysterious knot seen at Ishii's house. Hori's explanations become erratic, claiming that the only way to contain the curse is through the complete ritual. His knowledge, however, is unreliable due to his deteriorating mental state. Marika's call about the knot. After Hori's warning, Marika calls Kobayashi, terrified and frantic, reporting that a similar knot has appeared in her home. She urges him to intervene, further tying her fate to the curse. Unable to help her in time, Kobayashi installs hidden cameras to monitor her situation, but the footage only worsens her plight. Osawa's apartment. Kobayashi turns his attention to Osawa, a former acquaintance who seemed detached from reality. Osawa's strange behavior, especially his habit of catching pigeons, leads to unsettling interviews with his neighbors. One day Osawa is seen on his apartment balcony, only to vanish mysteriously. His disappearance mirrors those of Kana and others connected to the curse. Days later, Osawa's body is found dead by apparent suicide. Marika's video and Kagutaba. In one of the most revealing moments, Kobayashi reviews a chilling video from Marika's house. In this footage, Marika whispers the name Kagutaba, and her voice is unnaturally distorted. It becomes clear that her consciousness has been overtaken by the demon. This event further ties her to the dark forces controlling everything around her. Researching Kagutaba, Kobayashi seeks historical records on Kagutaba, finding ancient rituals designed to imprison the demon. However, he learns that the rituals were incomplete, meaning Kagutaba's presence continues to grow stronger. This history deepens the film's haunting narrative and provides insight into the origins of the curse. Ceremony footage. The son of a former priest shows Kobayashi a grainy archival video of the original Kagutaba ritual. The footage reveals the ceremony's disturbing nature, with villagers suffering from horrific outcomes when attempting to contain the demon. This revelation highlights the danger of attempting to recreate the ritual and how the supernatural force has remained ever present since that time. Junko Ishii's connection. Kobayashi travels to a remote village to uncover the truth behind the ritual meant to seal Kagutaba. The village exudes an oppressive atmosphere, and the residents are wary, avoiding any mention of the ritual. Through fragmented accounts, Kobayashi learns that the ceremony required a child to act as Kagutaba, serving as a vessel to subdue the demon's power. To his shock, he discovers that the chosen child was Junko Ishii, whose name has surfaced repeatedly in his investigation. The revelation leaves Kobayashi stunned, as the villagers' reactions reveal conflicting views of Junko. Some see her as a victim, others as the embodiment of the curse. Visiting the ritual site and Junko's childhood home, Kobayashi uncovers signs of her family's desperate attempts to protect her. The house is filled with talismans and symbols, remnants of failed rituals to ward off Kagetaba. This discovery redefines Junko's role in the story, explaining her tragic descent into madness and lifelong connection to Kagetaba's influence. For Kobayashi, it marks a turning point, emphasizing the inescapable power of the curse and the devastating toll it takes on those ensnared by it. Marika's scary behavior and request for help. When Marika asks Kobayashi for help, it's clear that she is deeply affected by the curse and supernatural forces. Her fear and erratic behavior, combined with her haunting requests, emphasize the influence of dark, malevolent entities. Kobayashi, trying to understand and protect her, takes her to her house, unaware of the horrors that await. Mysterious behavior in Kobayashi's house. Once at her house, Marika exhibits increasingly bizarre and disturbing behavior. Her movements become unnatural and her interactions with objects and her surroundings are unsettling. She seems disconnected from reality, as if under some supernatural possession or influence. This behavior adds to the tension, making her a vessel for the dark forces that are tormenting her and those around her. The death of the crow is a pivotal moment. As Marika interacts with the cursed forces, a crow mysteriously dies in the vicinity of the house. In folklore and supernatural tales, crows are often associated with death or the supernatural. The sudden death of the crow signifies the escalating curse and the growing danger, hinting at the larger, malevolent forces at play together. These events underscore the horror of the situation, leaving Kobayashi and those involved helpless against the overwhelming and disturbing supernatural forces. The Kagetaba ritual recreation. In a desperate attempt to contain Kagetaba, Kobayashi, Marika, and Hori attempt to recreate the incomplete ritual at a dam. However, things quickly spiral out of control. Hori becomes agitated and runs into a nearby forest. Kobayashi follows him, possession, fleeing into the forest. Meanwhile, Kobayashi and Hori find the villagers' dogs slaughtered near a secluded shrine in the woods. Kobayashi's camera captures an apparition of Kana under a torii, surrounded by writhing fetuses. Marika abruptly recovers after delivering Marika and Hori to a hospital. Kobayashi and Miyajima break into Ishii's current home. Inside, they find that she has hanged herself. Kana is dead and Ishii's young son is alive. A newspaper article then reveals that the boy is not Ishii's son. Kobayashi adopts the boy. He returns to the historian, who shows him a scroll depicting how Kagetaba was first summoned, wherein baby monkeys were fed to a medium. Ishii tried replicating this by feeding the stolen fetuses to Kana. Marika recovers and Hori is placed in a mental institution. He escapes and is found dead a day later. After Kobayashi's disappearance, his video camera is discovered in a package. The tape inside shows the events that led to the destruction of Kobayashi's house. A crazed Hori arrives at the house, revealing the boy to be Kagetaba, incapacitates Kobayashi, and bludgeons the child with a rock. The bloodied boy briefly takes on the appearance of Kagetaba, and a ghostly Kana appears in a corner. Hori leaves with the boy and Keiko becomes possessed, pouring gasoline on herself and setting herself alight. As the house burns and Kobayashi struggles to get to his feet, the movie ends. A text note says Kobayashi is still missing.